Hey, Tiffany. Y'all are right on time. Good job. I'm just going to go over a few things, what you're doing today. You might still be working on your hands, which is fine. So, as we know, we go into the announcement section every day. And of course, I made today tomorrow. Today is, I need to change the date. I guess I am ready for payday. Today's actually the 25th. So, okay. So it says that you're going to complete your sketchbook assignment. Yesterday you did the 2 slides of MC Escher. You kind of drew the drawing of his hands and wrote that information. And then today it's Edward Degas. So you're going to kind of draw the ballerinas. It doesn't have to absolutely look perfect. You're just kind of doing a little quick sketch, and then you're going to write the information. So basically you have 2 slides, one which is the artwork and the artist, and the other is the information. You have 2 slides, 1 artist every day, and then you'll submit them on Friday. I don't even think you have one on Friday. I think Friday's just for taking pictures and uploading. Also, what you're going to do is continue working on your hands. Remember, you had 3 contour line drawings to do of your hands. And then I want to talk to you a little bit about Zentangle, something that we're working on. If you're done with your hands, you can start on this. Something to kind of stop, because we've been really doing a lot of, like, when you're drawing your hands, you're really having to concentrate, and it's really serious, and you're really having to draw slow. So after we start doing a little bit of contour lines, I like to break things up a little and have you do something that's a little looser and a little freer. If you've looked in your module today, yes, you will see this thing called Zentangles. I want to go over that with you. I'm not going to go over it from there. I'm going to pull it up from my drive because it's bigger on my drive. Zentangles are super cool. The most important thing about them is you're going to do them with a pen. Like a fine tip Sharpie or some type of ink pen. You're not going to use a pencil. Yes, ma'am. Is it not there? Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, it might be further, or you might have accidentally put it. Let's see. Okay, modules. There it is. But if you go to modules on your own, like click on my modules, not the assignments modules, now scroll up. You'll see this PowerPoint. You should. Oh, it's not on your modules. That's all that's on your modules? Well, shoot, I need to figure out how to get that. I'm sorry.
And for assignments and tables,
I might not have published it yet. Lord have mercy. Bear with me. I thought y'all could see all my little slideshows. I'm going to make sure that you're able to see them. I see them on mine, but that doesn't mean that you see them on yours. So I will upload and make sure that these are all correct. This is what you should see there. I'll figure out why you're not. Zentangles, but good thing I'm videoing and you're watching live and we are recording. So you'll be all right. I want to tell you about Zentangles. You probably don't even realize you already know what they are. Zentangles is dealing with line, which we're working with now. So that's nothing new. We already know that a line is a mark of any length. It can be any type of width, thick, thin, dash. We already did all that. We already know that. So we're using line. We've done this, except we've done it with our hands. We've done a contour drawing of our hands. So now we're going to take the idea of pattern. I think everybody should know what pattern is. Pattern is a design that is repeated. Think wrapping paper for different birthdays or, celebrations. Wrapping paper has a pattern on it. Typically your clothing, your bags, like the Louis Vuitton, anything that is repeated over and over. Patterns are on your curtains, your cushions, patterns are everywhere. So we're going to take the concept of a pattern, and this is a new word. for you maybe. We're gonna take the idea of contrast, and contrast is like if you were editing a photo, you might increase the brightness to make it a little bit brighter. Same point, you might increase the contrast to make it look a little bit darker. Either way, it makes something stand out. So this green, all these green apples right here, there's a red apple in the middle. Well, that's an immediate contrast because the red is sticking out over all the green. It can show emphasis, like the contrast, you know, this definitely brings your eye here to this. There's lots of reasons why we use contrast, and we're going to use it today just with some shape and line. Okay, so what is a Zentangle? These are Zentangles. If you've ever gotten one of those like adult coloring books that have all these designs, and you go in with little gel pens and color, that's a Zentangle. They're all Zentangles. Zentangles are just variation of line and pattern and repetition. They're very much a form of meditation, hence the word Zen, Z-E-N. And then tangle means, you know, just all kinds of designs going all different types of way. Here's some examples. You're gonna do your own, you're gonna kind of create your own little Zentangle area in your sketchbook. This doesn't have to be really big. Typically, Zentangles are small because you are doing a repetitive design. Let me show you what we mean by contrast here. See all these areas where the black, where it's been colored in dark? That is contrast. If you do not have these areas, you know, like some areas are just line, and then some areas have been colored in darker. If you did not have these areas, this would be very boring to look at. The contrast brings some emphasis and makes all of this stand out. If these things weren't colored in, if the background right here, if there wasn't some darker areas, it would be very boring to look at. Here's some more examples. I mean, just that checkerboard right here. Perfect example, you know, the Zentangle. Zentangles can be organic lines, curvy lines. They're basically doodles. Anytime you have doodled anything, but you take that doodle and you just repeat it. Color in some areas. I'm going to show you how you're going to do one. This is not your project. If we were all here in the class, we would be doing these. We work a little bit longer on them, so don't get confused with that. But your project is, let me go back to your module, and I'm so sorry, you guys. I'll try to make sure that all of these things are uploaded. I didn't realize that these PowerPoints and things aren't on your pages. I'll figure that out. But if you look under daily assignment today, okay, not there. Excuse me. If you look under this, which I don't, you know why y'all don't see that? Because look, I hadn't published it. Okay, see if it's there now. I just published it. See, I just do crazy things, y'all. Okay, it's there. It should be there. So this is your little assignment for today. In addition to finishing your hands, you're just going to create, and this shows you step by step how to do it. This shows you step by step how you're going to do it. You need to use a pen, a marker, not a fat marker. When I turn on the lights, I'll talk about markers a little bit more. All you're going to do in your sketchbook somewhere is do like a squiggly little, some sort of line. And then you're going to come into all these little areas. Now you've got these areas that you can come in and do patterns and repetition and solid sum in. There's no right, there's no wrong. And then you're going to kind of solid them in a little bit. You're just going to, you know, try your handle. See how Zentangle up there is written in Zentangles. Zentangles are just a repeated pattern. Step number 5, you don't have to do. It says to shade with the pencil. I don't like that. I don't like the shading look with it. So I'm going to turn the lights on and show you just kind of quickly on the board. It's very, very easy. Today, in addition to your sketch assignment and finishing up your hands, I want you to try the Zentangle somewhere in your sketchbook and make sure you're using a pen. Let me turn the lights on and I'll show you some options and some examples from previous class. I do a lot with Zentangle. Okay, let me turn the lights on really, really quick. Really, really quick. You can already see I have a whole bunch on the board, like when I was talking about those adult coloring book type of things. You know, this is kind of cut out from one. You've probably seen them in various places. They're all in a book, and you know, you could, like, even though this one's colored already, but this is absolutely a Zentangle. It's an animal, an elephant. It's a contour line of an elephant, you know, that kind of started like this, contour line of the elephant. And then instead of, you know, making the elephant look realistic, it's filled in with different designs. You can almost think like tribal patterns and that type of design. And then on the board, I have a whole bunch of just examples, but the reason they stand out is there's areas you're just not going to do a line drawing everywhere. You've got to come back in and solid some areas in to make it have some contrast and pop out. So really all you're going to do, I was working here earlier today, it's very, very simple. This should be relaxing. This should be free. You know, like if you want to save it till another, you know, time when you're, you know, listening maybe to a lecture that's gone on too long and you just start doodling somewhere. But to do one, all you have to do is kind of make like a string. I mean, it could be geometric. It doesn't matter what. I mean, you're just going to kind of make a design with a line in your sketchbook. And then all you're going to do is come back in and, you know, make patterns. Maybe here I'm just going to do some, you know, lines like this. And then I might do some circles. And then I might color inside the circles. And then over here, I might start kind of making like an eye shape. And I'm just going to repeat that over and over and over and so forth. It's repetition of pattern, design, but don't forget to color in some places. Like, so for this one, I probably would come color in all around that little eye shape design I just made. So now you can tell that this pops out, that design I just drew. You guys are going to take your time a little bit more because that doesn't look all that great, but by coloring around it, you can now see that design pop out. I'll show this up close to you and I'll show y'all in a minute. You know, here's some, there's some examples right here. I'll try to get that loaded up there. It's just repetition of pattern and design. It should be very easy. You're basically doodling and then coloring some areas in. You got any questions, Tiffany?
Didn't you say to use a pen first and then
Yes,
a wet
thank
marker?
you, Tiffany, thank you so much for asking that. Yes, don't use a pencil at all for this. Use a pen. You can use an ink pen. You can use a marker, a Sharpie. Try not to use like a big, you know, like a big fat marker. If you don't have like a tinier, you know, an ink pen's fine. And this isn't really big, just a little section in your sketchbook. I'm gonna grab some more. Like sometimes I even, you know, have people do Zentangled animals. As you can tell, like that's a lion, but you see the designs in it. There's no pencil. Just go ahead and just draw with a pen. Here's some other like super tiny little, it's just anything repeated over and over. Maybe they're colored in, maybe they're not, but definitely don't use a pencil because the pencil, one, will smear, and two, isn't bold enough. This should be loose and you should not feel like you need to erase anything. You're just doodling. That's all you're doing is doodling. Okay? That's a great question. Thank you. And it can be in a color. It doesn't have to necessarily be in black and white. Are you good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to post this this video. I'm going to go through and make sure everything is clear. You know, all your modules are working, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Email me if you have any questions. Also, I'm trying to go back in and because I'm trying to get grades in, and I sometimes see that some people might not have some things turned in. I'm going back in and making sure that you can turn them in at any time. I'm not going to penalize you because you didn't get it in that day. But I do want you to get, you know, if you didn't do your data drawing or if you didn't do the little line, you know, design, let's get them in so we can have, you know, easy hundreds. Like, just make sure you're going back through all your assignments, that you've completed them, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.